Mircea Eliade, historian of religion, fiction writer, philosopher, and professor, used the phrase, the rupture of the planes, which I think is appropriate for describing the conscious activation of higher circuits. In Tim Leary's later work, which was admittedly very far out, he explained that and argued that humanity would have to consciously activate their higher circuits if they wanted to leave planet Earth and explore the galaxy. He thought that long-term space exploration and colonization wouldn't be successful if human beings brought petty vampiric mindsets and robotic social behaviors along with them. I'm not so sure about all that, but it seems reasonable to think that without a substantial change to how we live our individual lives and how we organize society, humanity will destroy itself, whether on Earth or off Earth. Everyone on this planet has experienced higher circuit activity. Many of us just don't have the maps to understand this activity properly. Robert Anton Wilson said the higher circuits are best described by art and music, but words will have to do. So just by me talking about these circuits, there's a danger that these ideas will become just more collective content in your intellect. They can become circuit 3 ideas, and this could block the potential for you to know the higher circuits as lived experience. So once I'm done talking about the higher circuits, part 4 of this presentation will cover how the higher circuits can be known through first-hand individual experience. Rooting the personality in something deeper than the status quo requires us to become aware of the higher circuits and then consciously activate them. When we do so, our understanding of what it is to be human changes. It expands. In Jungian terms, this process is called individuation, and as the name indicates, is highly personal. But I want to be clear that this isn't about individuality as we typically understand it. Status quo individuality is about strengthening the story of me in order to improve our social status game playing. Jungian individuation and 8-circuit yoga is about exploring inner landscapes and our experiences of the world around us so that we can tap into an inner source of inspiration. This brings novelty into culture and society. How this is done varies from person to person. The end result, the characteristics of one's transformed personality, and how the personality will express itself in society cannot be predicted in advance. Anyone who tells you that they know what the end result of this process will be is misleading you. On the left is a visual representation of how dull and gray a status quo life can be. The pleasures found in the status quo are mostly tied to societal power, status, and manipulation games. We use people, objects, and situations to feel good. In circuits 1 to 4, environmental imprints and genetic predispositions are your masters. Limiting your humanity to the status quo is a waste of potential. In the words of Peter Kingsley, we are the seeds of so much. Human existence is nothing but the divine life unlived. End quote. Marie-Louise von Franz says that the individual requires an inner experience of the transcendental if he is to hold his own against the physical and moral power of the world. Otherwise, he succumbs to it. End quote. On the right is a visual representation of life with all 8 circuits activated and integrated in a healthy fashion. This is a life with full knowledge of the cart rider and the ox. This creates a personality rooted in something deeper, more whole, less divided, and divinely human. To live this way, we must activate the higher circuits and do so in a responsible manner. And then once activated, we must integrate the experience of the higher circuits into our daily lives in gentle, healthy ways.